Hey dudes, I got my steps done. I got my wall done, partially backfilled. Full disclosure, on this project, I've completely blown my budget. My budget is doubled. However, that is still half of what the deck would cost. It's doubled because I changed the way I was going to do the steps, so that's a whole lot more block and a whole lot more concrete. I had enough concrete that I could have justified calling a concrete truck, but it was in a weird sequence, so I had to mix it a little bit at each time. Anyway, I went to the stone yard. I got a very good deal on this beautiful slate stone. These are going to be the treads to my stairs. I got a good deal because this is someone returned this. These are all random sizes, so I have to cut them all. I will say this. If you are considering doing a patio outside, another option or something outside, a big piece of slate stone is $4 a square foot. So that's an uncut piece, that's uncircumcised piece. So you could do probably a very beautiful patio. I'll show you how to cut it today. That's what we're going to be doing, cutting and setting stone. So you'd be able to do or you just get one big piece of slate, lay it down, big 10-foot by 10-foot piece of slate, and $400 you have a beautiful patio. No maintenance whatsoever, just pressure wash it occasionally. Beautiful. Anyway, again, it's random sizes, so I gotta get a little bit creative with how I do it. I'll show you how to cut it, set it, pow. Alright. Some of these aren't too bad already. I have my slate tread, my little dumb thin brick here. Some of these I want a just an inch overhang right there. It's a beautiful piece of slate here. I have to take a ½ inch off. It's actually a lot more square than I expected it to be, at least this piece anyway. Though it's going to be on the back with a little piece of that brick veneer covering it, I'd still like the cut to be as straight as possible, just in case something, I don't know. But anyway. So it's got a piece of scrap here to use as a straight edge. This stuff cuts remarkably well with a masonry blade, just a 4-inch grinder and a nice blade. I've had this blade for years. It doesn't really dull, works pretty well for what you got to do. Cut brick, block, stone, tile, everything with just this little guy. Alright, so I'm going to try to keep this thing straight and as square as possible to give me a good square cut. Alright, not bad. You can actually get a masonry blade for a circular saw. A little bit of water on there keeps the dust down, but I think for my purposes I'm alright with it. For this part of the operation, I'm just using some standard thin set mortar mix you can find in the ceramic tile area of your local Lowe's. I'm not gonna lie, something about setting natural slate stone just really tickles my nuts, tickles them down deep. Masonry is one of the oldest trades, predates the Egyptians, goes all the way back to the Nubian empires, sub-Saharan Africa, when when men stacked rocks on top of other rocks. The Romans, they really took masonry to the next level. Concrete, mortar, all that. La masonería in the Spanish. They made the word feminine. Why? It's like a very masculine trade. Why is it a feminine word? Because it's not about man or woman when you're talking about the word. It's about the approach to which. It's like a ballet. It is brawn, but it is a graceful brawn. You don't just go hammering rocks on top of other rocks. You gotta mother them. You gotta take them home. Tuck them in so they can be safe. Anyway. Well, I finished the slate tops. If you notice the slender and the splendor and the beauty of the slate, I think they turned out quite well. They need pressure washed, a bit of stuff on it, but now I'm going to begin doing something about this old CMU wall. I'm working on this type thing today. I'll be doing this fella today. Alright, over there, first thing I'm going to do is start on the corner and have everything come out from the corner along the top, as they are just thin, not full bricks. I can't really have one on the corner because there's no side, obviously, so I think it looks kind of nice, a little bit ornamental, and that as well, you'll see, gives me my height of where to begin the other bricks, and then I'll pepper some of these dudes in there at random. It's pretty straightforward, just the old speed square there. This one you start in the center. Basically I'm going to measure from because my joints are 3/8, so I'm going to take the plus 3/8 and measure from the long end to the front there, and just transfer my mark. And I'm going to cut most of these with a grinder. The wider parts I can cut with a tile saw. Pretty well same as cutting the slate, just a lot easier. Alright, a little bit easier way to do this. You lay those guys on there. There's your marks for these guys. Flip it back and reverse it. Cut the butts and coconuts. For my long repetitive cuts that are all the same, I found it more prudent to use my tile saw with a guide on it, so I don't need to keep measuring and whatever with the grinder. And the rest of this is pretty much a tile job from hell. For the big stones I use, if you see a little stick sticking there, I use that because they're kind of heavy, so I put the thin set on there, put a stick on there, and let it set up for a few hours, and I was good to go. Yeah, I kept my grinder on me so that way I could just cut out little pieces as I did. If you see a couple little small guys like that, that's because I didn't want to waste any of the cut-offs from the top. These weren't real expensive, but they also weren't free, so I wanted to use as much of them as possible. The thing that sucks about doing the top first, and then you have to kind of work your way down, so there's not really, you can't really put spacers on it and use the weight of the other tiles to hold it down. You got to kind of set that thin set just at the right consistency that it'll sort of hold them in place. Get good suction on there. See there, the little brick guy there to hold the heavy stone in place. Yeah, I wanted to pepper them in, so I thought it looked a little bit sexier, looked a little bit more like it's been there for a while. Anyway, that's that. Later when I go do the paver portion, the sand and paver bit, you're going to be like, oh my god,
That's a totally different back porch. I didn't see any of that in the video. Now that's because I didn't film it. This is a series about doing a retaining wall and a patio, not doing porches. And that also might account for the long space between videos and what took you so long. So I was working on this back porch thing here, which I will, I don't know, I'll show you around it in the future. Anyway, that's pretty much that for now. And I'll see you when I get to the paver portion. Anyway, again, like and subscribe, the YouTube stuff.